and we are back. I am the Dadadpanther. We're going to get into unpacking or recapping the AEW show 2.0. How did it go? Did they answer all of our questions? Did we get a chance to see anything new? Let's go click-a-lick-a-loud. Now, the holiday season is done. We're in a brand new year. I hope everything is awesome and going great on your end. Real life RNG is dropping and you're getting what you want and what you need. But you know what I need? I would need for you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and throw some comments. You know, if you like what I'm putting down, click down on the mouse, click, subscribe, all the other stuff. It helps me out, passes off this information to someone else. So let's get into it, okay? AEW Games went ahead and said, hey, look, we've got new information right after Elite Dynamite, directly after Let's Go. And everybody ran and told whoever, and we were sitting there waiting. I watched it on YouTube, and immediately they did not disappoint as far as it's a better presentation. They're getting the feels of it together, okay? YouTube actually flowed like they knew we were waiting on it. The chat was talking, they were buzzed, the hype, and when it started, it was like a pop. You could hear it without hearing it, if that makes any sense. And they went ahead and started. And today you had, you know, like they said, Kenny and Kip. And they made the joke about who was Kip. You know, if you watch more of the Dark program, which is on YouTube, you would know who he is, almost kind of joking like he's not main card, he's not on Dynamite yet, and things of that nature. That's just fun, the banner back and forth. But what they did is they answered 5 questions, and I believe these were 5 questions that maybe they've seen online from us, the fan, the community, people who are just interested in this game in general. So I'm gonna go through the 5 questions, and afterwards I'm also gonna give my take, my feel, whatever the case is on this 2.0, this show, this update, this episode, if you would. The first question, I'm not even gonna really put them in order, though it'll seem it's in order, but the first question was just simply put the date. When is it coming out? And interestingly enough, they used the word fans. I think that was cool to connect, to say, hey, fans. I'm pretty sure they mean anyone that enjoys a wrestling game, anyone that enjoys a fighting game or sporting game of that nature, but I did enjoy how they said the word fans. And Kenny, I think it was cool because they also took the biggest question that probably everybody had and they just tackled it by saying, this will be the first question we have. And the answer to that question is there's no date. There's currently no date on this game. I didn't think there was going to be a date. I did a video previously thinking that I thought it was interesting that we're going to get another update on these games so soon. I didn't expect anything. So again, no date on the wrestling game that we're all looking for. I want to say the keystone or the main event on the lineup for the games they have. So there's no date. Now, the reason why Kenny said there is no date, he doesn't want bugs in the game. He doesn't want bugs in the game. He doesn't want the game to become a meme, which is actually kind of funny because we know how 2K20 went. So, I mean, throwing shade there. My little into that to Kenny and the rest of the people, and I'm pretty sure they're not watching this, but let's just say they are. Let's not go with the shade and stuff. I mean, we're looking at what happened after Cyberpunk 2077. Let's just stay in our lane. Let's just work on a game that they're proud of, the people who are putting together this game, and us, the community, can be proud of as well. And let's just leave it at that, okay? And moving on, he mentioned some other stuff. He said at some point when that information goes out, that'll go out. But the thing I picked up that he mentioned as well is we're working with producers and other people in the industry to find out what we can do to put together this game that is going to be a long-term game. Now, it's good that he said long-term game, a game that might get patches, downloadable content, and meaning that, hey, look, picture a game like No Mercy or Fire Pro or things of that nature, where it's one game that comes out and it constantly gets updated. If you've seen some of my videos in the past, that's one of the things I was talking about with next gen wrestling games is I think we should go away from the new game every year and do a really good playable game that has updates in real time as it goes, hair design, music, things of that nature, heel turn, whatever. But the interesting thing that I don't think a lot of people are talking about online, when he said the fact that they're still asking for opinions or a way to, he even used the word, and I'm trying to loosely quote, get this thing off the ground. I think they're still early in the production stage. So the visualization that we've been seeing, which is that trailer with Chris Jericho and them wrestling around the ring, that honestly could completely change and visually, graphically go a completely different direction. Also, there was no conversation of this whole thing, spoiler alert, whole thing on a game engine or anything like that. So again, I think there's a very important keyword and phrase and things he was using in that first question to say they, later on, and he does say, we've promised a lot of things that we want to back up. And that was awesome to know accountability of kind of what he knows the community is asking for. But again, I honestly think they're still throwing noodles at the wall to find out what can they do and what can't they do and how do they go about doing it. So that was the first question. Moving on to the second question, the question was asked, are there going to be creator wrestlers? Really quickly, he says yes. And again, this whole thing, he sounds very passionate about not only gaming, but wrestling. Obviously, you know, physically wrestling in his career, but just the fact that he gets what the community is asking for, because he said, hey, look, we know that you guys, the community, like to create people who are not even in the same promotion in which the game you play. So he wants to make sure that you can create guys and girls. He wants to make sure that you can understand that you can create people, whatever's in your brain that you want to put out there, whether a commentary or a superhero or other things of that nature. He gets it, and he understands that what's also important is a move set that will go with it. So does that mean we get create a move, create a finisher? I don't know. We've had it in the past. We'll have to wait and see. But moving on to question number 3, is there going to be online play? Really easy. Kenny says yes. Again, this is something that we all in the community know, especially with next gen systems. This is a must. But some of the interesting things that he said, and he said cross-play. That is huge. And I would not be surprised if not just this game, but every game, especially next gen and PC, moving forward, crossplay is super important. Whether you're playing with mobile or things of that nature, looking at a game like Fortnite and its ability to play with mobile and console, or looking at certain PC games being able to play with, that just adds more people to play, better matchmaking, better online experience. Now, he said the online play, the plan is for it to be all matches, so various matches. But the interesting thing that he added on the end is he would like, and he can't say everything right now, but he would like, and they're bouncing ideas on it, that there's certain matches or certain things that are online only that you can't do offline. I don't know what could that be. You can put that in the comments of what do you think that would be. What would you be able to do online that you can't do offline? Off the top of my head, I'm thinking, you know, creating leagues, defending championship belts like we did in past video games. So, I mean, I don't know. Moving on to the next question. Is this game going to be more arcade or more sim? And really quick, I love how, again, I'm pretty sure they knew what the conversation was going to be. It wasn't like he was talking to just me interviewing him. Kenny, if you want to do an interview, you know where to find me. If you're looking for somebody, I don't know, to take hits and do weird sounds like, ow, that hurts, give me a call. But he said really quickly, it's neither. It's not going to be an arcade. It's not going to be a sim. And really quickly, he mentions Fire Pro Wrestling and saying you don't want to go too far sim, but at the same sense, he wants it to be simple and fast. And I believe majority of the community, even with the 2K questionnaire that came out earlier with the devs talking about what do you want out of that game, and conversations on Twitter for games like Virtual Basements, The Wrestling Code, or even Retromania Wrestling that's getting ready to come out. They're all, majority of them are saying they want a simple, fast gameplay. So he automatically calls that out and says that he'll rather have that. And he wants you to be able to feel the rings and the moves. He wants you to be able to feel you moving around, feel the moves that are happening, and feel that you're controlling the wrestler in which you're playing with. So again, I think that also ties into the first question with the date and them still figuring things out. And then they move on to what I believe is the last question, which is how did AEW games actually get Geta into the process? And I don't want to mess up anybody's name or anything, but the legendary guy from Aki who came over, who's worked on the original games and stuff like that of the past. And you can go on YouTube to get the long story, but long story short, he said while he was in Japan, Kenny Omega actually went to visit the old studio and met some of the people that were still around. And before anything happened as far as AEW coming together as its own promotion, he was basically putting the foundations of a relationship. And he honestly, him and the people around, believe that Dynamite and Dark and everything that it's become over the last less than 3 years, he was confident that it was going to be something. And so the relationship grew from there. So as they understood they wanted to make a game, they knew the only person they can go to for what they really wanted was this team and the team of people behind them. So that's a cool story. It's similar to a lot of other stuff that we hear that happens behind the scenes, but that was it. That's it. So really briefly, so I don't make this video too long, the only thing is, if you look in the comments towards the end, it's about a 15-minute video. There were some people, which I didn't know, that were in different countries, different timelines, that had to wait till 3 a.m. or even later to watch this. And if you did, it was rough because there was no information that was new. There was no new visualizations that made you say that was worth it. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the look of it. It seems that they're finding their way as far as visually and what they're bringing to us. But I mean, I don't know if you noticed, it looked like it was Christmas. And I don't know if that was the plan or if it was unfortunately the untimely passing of Brody Lee that happened over the holiday season. Rest in peace to him, and thoughts out to any family and friends for that individual. But I don't know if that changed the course of how this news is going to come out. Now, moving forward, I mean, again, all I did was look in the comments, whether on Twitter, whether the people who are watching it live. And again, for the information you got, for people to wait till the end of the program, and it was a good program. You got to see Snoop Dogg do something. I'm not gonna spoil anything other than that. But no one's listening to me as far as in their production. If it was me and you, I'm just saying, you could have taken that information and put it in between commercial breaks and still gotten the same effect. You could have said, hey, look, we've got more details about the video games that we have coming out, and all you gotta do is watch the episode, and that's it. And you strategically put it in there where it's gonna help with ratings, if that was the catch. I don't think it was, because it was directly at the end of it, and it was a cool ending for the show Dynamite already. But that's what I would say there. I'll put out another video talking about the GM mode. They did show us some information on that, and that's it. Again, this is long, but again, we're recapping a little something. I wish there was more information that they were bringing to us. I wish I had more information. I hope it was entertaining. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the 3 likes, things of that nature. You could have been anywhere in the world and you were here and made me part of your day. I really appreciate that. Till next time, kalika-lika-lao.